you so much, Pius. This is first of all, I want to.
Yes, and we would like to see your video. Please put on your video so that we see you. Some people are seeing you for the first time. Or am I the only one who is not seeing your video?
Oh my God, it's a Sunday.
Oh, it's a Sunday. Okay, don't worry. Next time you will.
Next time I will put
your
my video.
Okay. Yes, but today you are allowed. Yeah.
The thing is, I attended the training yesterday.
Yes.
And this is what I can say, especially to the Kenyans that are participating, that this is a huge opportunity. All those things that were being said in the training, I learned them myself on my own. Nobody taught me. I had to go and researching every time. So it's a wonderful opportunity. And the other thing I was wondering whether our people know what it takes. Because me personally, I'm a builder. And what I have realized is that we have many people who do not want to cook, but they want to find ready-made food on the table. That is what I've experienced when I'm doing my business. Sometimes you have people who want to come and join in, but they really don't want to come and look for firewood and water and cook together. They want ready-made food. So if any person wants ready-made food, then I don't think this is the best place, because it is hard work, it is loyalty, it is focus. So that's all. I just wanted to talk about the program that you are launching. But the future is digital in education. That is what I see. Now, what do? I teach Swahili here and online, and I also teach about Africa in schools here. And when I started teaching Swahili, I realized that the books from home could not serve me well and my students. So that is when I stopped everything and decided to write very simple Swahili books for people who don't know any Swahili. So I'm not really a traditional Swahili teacher who teaches the Swahili for Kenyan students, but I teach Swahili as a foreign language. So that is where what I do, and I only write Swahili for foreigners books. So I have released several books, and I'm working on my third book. I've released them in 4 different languages: English, French, German, and Dutch. And now I'm working on my book 3. So I think that is what I have. Any questions are welcome.
Thank you, Odilia. And you didn't give them a rider that I did not bribe you to come and say that.
Oh,
and,
no.
Anyway,
No.
I don't pay bribe. And then the second
Even
thing
me,
you
I
forgot
don't.
to say.
Even me, I don't bribe. Even me, when I come to Kenya,
Yeah.
I don't bribe.
The second. So please, when we come to Kenya, don't ask us for bribes, but we give tips. The other thing, I'm not saying that Kenyans always ask for bribe. No, this is just as an enlightenment, an awareness, because if I come to Kenya and then give a bribe even to a government agency like now Kiswahili Digital Academy, for it to go through any license, government regulation, I go to any of those offices and they ask me for a bribe and I give it, and you don't know who is around and what have you. And that thing, do you know what is going to happen? My children are going to be removed from all benefits, government benefits that they're entitled to, like scholarships. My wife cannot even work in a government entity. So why do something that's going to put your family in problems? You better deny me the license to roll out the Kiswahili Digital Academy in Kenya rather than putting the whole of my family in problems. So my hands are tied. But we give tips. Give me the license, and after giving me that license, I will come back 1 year and appreciate you during your birthday party, That is how it is done here in a foreign land. Now, Odilia, can you please introduce yourself properly? You know, some of these people, they need people to mentor them. They think that if you are talking from that small city of Bern between Germany, the border of Germany and the Netherlands, that you were born there. Can you tell them where you come from? Maybe there's somebody here from your village, and how you started, and then how you ended up in the Netherlands. Please.
Yes, no, I'm a Kenyan, nimezaliwa nyumbani. I love home. I always go back there. I speak my father's language, which is a different dialect of Luya. My mother's language, I speak it, another Luya. And then I grew up in Mumias. I speak the dialect there. So in fact, what I want to say that I speak 3 mother tongues. And then I speak Swahili, and then I speak Dutch. I speak French because I learned French in school, and then I speak English. So I count them as 7 languages. The reason why I'm saying this is that I don't understand why at home we are not teaching our children mother tongue. All those enrich you in learning a language or teaching a language. So anyway, those are my languages, but I'm born and raised in Kenya. And then I moved here with my family. So I live here with my family. And when I came here, it was very hard. It was not easy. The culture, I had to learn the culture. I had to learn the language. At least Pius, there you could speak English in the US. In Europe, it's only Britain where you continue with your English. But in Germany, in Denmark, everywhere, you have to learn their language if you have to break through. So those are the struggles that I had, but I always tell all Kenyans that as long as you're a Kenyan, you can make it. Just being born a Kenyan means you can make it. But you must prioritize.
Where did you go to high school? Maybe there's a teacher here from your high school.
I was in Mumias Primary, and then I went to Loreto Limuru, and then I went to Egerton University.
Shout out to all teachers from those schools.
Yes,
and students from Egerton University.
Yes. So yeah, those I'm an alumni of those schools, and now I'm here. I'm shining the way my teachers taught me. So everything I'm doing here, I learned from Kenya.
Yeah, now Odilia, our new technology now will allow you now to teach the children of expatriates from the countries where you are living or we are living here at the comfort of your home in the Netherlands, and charge them the rates for the Netherlands. That is why we are here. So please feel free to sign up. Teach the children from diplomats working at the UN embassy, they're working from the Netherlands embassy, all of them, because you understand the culture, so it will be very easy for you to get along with them.
Yes, I will sign. If you send me a link, I will sign and be part of it.
No. The app is not yet ready. They are still gathering requirements.
Okay.
What would you like us to put in that app? How would you like it to operate? Stuff like that. But it will be ready by January 2nd, 2026, when the CBC curriculum begins in the 10th grade. And Odilia, one thing that I wanted to bring to your attention, that after making a lot of noise, you remember we started making noise around 4 years ago.
Yes.
When we were in that conference about the indigenous, they're no longer called them ethnic languages. I like how they call them. They call them indigenous languages. And do you know what? The good news is Kenya is now going to start teaching indigenous languages in the syllabus.
Amazing.
Yes. And the syllabus is there online. I'm going to share with you the link for the Kenya Institute of Curriculum Research and Development. That is one big through. If Professor Leonard Mwaka was here, shout out to him.
Yes.
We were talking about this 4 years ago. Yeah.
Yes. It's very important.
So
and
thank you, Odilia.
Mean...
So many things have happened since 4 years ago. I hope you are watching my videos. And right now, I'm a honorary listee of Makuzi Uzui in America. Check my website. Yeah. Dr.
Will.
Nundu, the second-year medical student who presented the TIBA-vent, that CPAP machine 4 years ago in the conference. The good news about him is, again, that he will be graduating with a medical degree from Kenyatta University in December. And he has been awarded the HAC Head of State Commendation because of that project. When he presented, he didn't have that title. He has also been recognized by the UN as the UN Person of the Year. He has got those 3 accolades. So many things have happened out of our conference. So even in this one, we're going to have a conference on 4th of January next year. And so many big things are going to come out of this. Thank you so much, Odilia. Unless there's a question from the crowd, anybody with a question to Odilia,
anybody
please.
with a question, I'm here for you.
Just shout your name and then ask the question. You can ask in any language. If you are a Luya, you can ask Odilia in a Luya to test whether she understands the Luya language. If you are a teacher of Kiswahili, you can ask Odilia in Kiswahili to test whether she understands Kiswahili. And if you are you speak the Queen's English, you are allowed to ask in Queen's English. And if you speak the American English like me with African accent, you can ask me too. Please feel free. Any language is allowed. Nobody to ask Odilia a question. Let me pick. I'm going to pick as random. I'm going to pick at random. Yes, I'm going to pick on one man and one woman. And this one, I'm going to have, I'm going to have who? I'm going to have Langat. Langat, do you have a question for Odilia? Langat, are you there or are you on autopilot? Langat is on autopilot. Let me go to Josephine.
I don't have a
Josephine
question.
Mboya. Oh, who is this? Who is this?
Langat.
Yes, Langat. Please introduce yourself. Can I have your first name, your last name, what you teach, and what motivated you to be here before you ask a question to Odilia? Please go ahead.
I am Maureen Cherono. I went to Maseno University. I'm here to graduate in December. I did literature, and what motivated me to join here is because I would really love to write and to make an impact to the society.
Can you write in Kalenjin?
I can.
Yes, then I'm going to hire you to write in Kalenjin for the 10th indigenous language. You're going to add one thematic area. We already had 39. The 40th thematic area, if my admin staff are hearing me, Michelle Oma, can you add this? Indigenous language, Kalenjin. The developer is, you said Christine Cherono Langat?
Maureen Cherono.
Maureen Cherono Langat. Did you fill the Google form?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, good. Michelle, look for Maureen Cherono Langat from Maseno University from the Google form and assign her indigenous language, Kalenjin. What dialect of Kalenjin do you speak?
I speak Kipsigis.
Kipsigis. So you put Kipsigis. You put Kipsigis. So you see, giving a reaction is good. It can make you to be hired. And now you're going to be attending classes from Saturday. If you don't, we're going to remove you. Like today, I'm going to remove people who have been absent because this is serious business. And you're going to get it for free. But from January 6th next year, we're going to charge 10,000 Kenyan shillings. So, that is that. So please go ahead and ask your question to Odilia.
But
Langat, I didn't get your high school. Which high school did you go to?
I went to Kapsabet Girls.
Oh, you went to a very big school, just like Odilia. Me, I've never gone to any big school like those schools you are mentioning. I always go to small schools, but here I am. Yes. Okay, go ahead. If you went to a very small school, the ones in my local dialect we call Lolikoliro Secondary School, please don't shy away. One of you is here. One of you is here talking to you. The only big school I've ever gone to in my life is Kenyatta University. The rest, even Bui State University, just a very small school. Okay, go ahead and ask your question, Maureen. I
would just like to congratulate Madam Odilia for the achievements she has achieved. And I would ask her what motivated her to go into the writing space.
Thank you. That is it's a very good question. It's I did follow my passion. And in fact, apart from Swahili, I'm also writing children's books. What I've
That's
realized,
great.
yeah.
That's
So
great.
yes, so it's just that I believe in our languages and our culture, and I decided no, nobody is going to do, because number one, I didn't have any book. The kind of book I wanted me and my students to use was not there. So that is how I ended up doing Swahili. And remember, I didn't do Swahili in university, but I got an A in my secondary. So I believed in myself and I started writing. And my teacher of Swahili in high school is my editor. And Professor Ngugi Wathiongo has
So you have
forwarded my
employed your
books.
teacher?
Yes, I've employed my
Odilia, did you say
teacher.
you employed your high school teacher?
I employed my high school teacher. She's a lady from Tanzania, almost my mom's age. She's very active. She's also a writer in Kenya. And she is my editor. Yes.
So my advice to all teachers, when you are teaching these kids, when they can't compute that quadratic equation and give you the correct answer, or when they can't pronounce that Kiswahili word the way you wanted, please don't look down upon them. Some of them is not their wish. It's just the condition. Like me, my teachers in primary school converted all my Kiswahili lessons into a maths lesson. I scored an A. In maths. I must have missed very few points in maths. I almost got 100 in maths. And when I did my KCPE, but I got an EO 14 marks in Kiswahili. So I could not go to Starehe Boys Center. That's where I wanted to go. But if I could have just scored like 50%, I could have gone to Starehe Boys Center. But 50% in Kiswahili, not a great score. That shows you how strong my scores in the other subjects were. So why didn't I not go to Starehe Boys Center and follow my passion? It's because they converted my Kiswahili lesson into maths lesson. Now, when I went to high school, the same thing continued, but the national exam, I did slightly better. But again, I could not do engineering. I could not do computer science. There was no data science by then. But look here. I wanted to be an engineer. Right now, I'm a data engineer, following my passion, what Odilia is talking about. So when the teachers... Yes, go ahead.
Pius, I wanted to do education, English literature, because I was so much in love with African literature, oral literature. I was not given. In Egerton, I was given agribusiness management. So I did it, put it in the pocket.
To go work in the farm when you wanted to be a storyteller.
I wanted to be a storyteller. And when I came here, I said, you know what? I know what I wanted to be. And I'm going to be who I wanted to be. And look at me here. I'm a storyteller. I'm writing. I'm doing, the stories, African stories for children. I'm teaching. I'm doing storytelling in schools here. So the key is your passion. Follow it. Believe in yourself. Believe it, and know that it's not a walk in the park. It's focus, it's sticking on, and it's aligning yourself with the people who have the same vision. Because one thing I notice at home, especially with our young people, they lack patience, they lose focus, and when they see that the results are not coming the way they want it, they quit, they take something else, they quit, they take something else. For me, it has taken me 7 years just to invest in myself and in what I'm doing. And this is the moment now I start to reap my fruits. And that is what I keep telling people. It's cooking. It's not finding a table that has been laid already.
It took me 9 years on snow and on hot summers, as hot as fire, to get where I am here. This idea of the up and water view. And Odilia, I told them in one of my videos the story of Simon Makonde. Do you remember the story of Simon Makonde?
I know it very well. I've never forgotten it.
Yeah, good. We don't allow people who want to follow the story of Simon Makonde here.
No.
And therefore, in Kenya, there was something. There's a term when I'm saying that we got a sponsor for this project. There's a term there in Kenya nowadays. I don't know. I was shocked that when you are a lady and somebody asks you, "Do you have a sponsor or I have a sponsor?" It means something already else. Somebody who had made how do you call it in one of my videos? One of my subscribers referred to it that you are cheating people around here. That you are a YouTuber, you are making so many millions, and you are a lady, and you have, what do you call it? I'm forgetting the term. What is the opposite of a sugar? A sugar? Is it a sugar daddy or what? Then he was talking about them. You have around 5 of them. One of them is funding your lifestyle on your hair. Another one is funding your rent. Another one is funding your vacations. Another one is funding your clothing. Another one is funding your food. Another one is funding your transportation. Another one is funding everything you have. You have a sponsor. No hard work from your sweat. And when you put all these together, you are living a lavish life that even the highest paid working class cannot lead. And then you cheat people. You are hiding behind YouTube. You know what? I'm a YouTuber. I'm an influencer. I'm what? And you have around 10 sugar daddies funding your lifestyle. That is what we are calling, what Odilia is referring to. You have to be patient. We don't need such people in our team. I need somebody who can proudly tell me I started a farming business and I planted 1,000 trees for oranges. Then somewhere along the line, a certain type of insect or a type of insect affected my farm and I lost half of my farm. Can you please assist me in coming up again rather than having 10 sugar daddies or sugar mummies around you? It goes both ways. You can be a man or a woman, something like that. And then you have a YouTube channel that has got 1,000 subscribers or 10,000 subscribers, and you're saying, "Oh, you know what? YouTube is paying everything. This is my source of income. This is what." But when you ask them, can you show us your taxes? YouTube is an American company. And therefore, when you are a YouTuber and you are getting income and you are a Kenyan, you are supposed to pay taxes to Kenya Revenue Authority. Can you show us your tax certificate that last year as a YouTuber, you made this 10 million from YouTube, you complied with the government regulation and paid taxes to Kenya Revenue Authority, and this is your tax compliance certificate to validate what he said, "No, this government is a robber. He's robbing us." No, it's your duty to pay taxes to get the services. So we don't need such people. People who do not comply with government regulation. People who do not respect their principals in high school as the boss. People who do not recognize the student they are teaching as the boss. Remember, if you are a teacher and that student is not there in class, you cannot teach a desk. The boss is the student. Not the other way around, the way it is in Kenya. When we roll out this thing, the students are going to be reviewing you, how you are teaching, what they like about you, what they don't like about you. And you must score a rating of 85% and above, just like an Uber, for you to remain in the system. So you better start mending your relationship with the children. You don't just throw words left, right, and center, harassing them verbally, thinking that they don't know. And I'm very sure, Odilia, if you are a Kiswahili teacher, or that kind of teacher that harasses the students verbally, you will not hire her today.
Oh, no.
And also, yes, go ahead.
She was a real mentor. She was a very good mentor. So she really directed us. And that is why we still look for her and ask her questions. Yeah. So, yes, I think this is a wonderful program.
Yes.
You can speak.
So, do you know what? My former principal in high school, my last station, who accepted me and promoted me to the post of a deputy principal. When I was coming from a school where I was interdicted, after only teaching there for total, and I got my way out to leave the school for the principal. I got my study leave with pay at Kenyatta University to go do masters in statistics. And then she followed me to my study leave and recalled me back to school and interdicted me. When he took me back to the school, the board chairman of that school was telling me, asking me in the meeting, Mr. Pius, how old are you? And I tell you, by that time, I was in my sweet 20. I started working in the TSA at the age of 22 and a half years. That's when I got my first pay slip. And I'd already worked for around 9 months in the over around 9. I've already worked for around 9 months in the private school. My first school to work was Laser Hill Academy in Ongatarongai. Shout out to teachers, students, Laser Hill Academy who are going to watch this video. That was my first job as a computer teacher. And I was in a very big house, a 3-bedroom house. I didn't know what to do with it. And I converted the sitting room to a volleyball field. Then I hired my friend from the university to come and become my lab technician. So he used to live in one of the bedrooms. He's now a computer scientist at Kenyatta University. His name is George. Shout out to you, George, if you'll watch this. And then from there, I got hired and worked at Maasai Girls group of schools. And I worked there only for 1 week before I left to go look for the TSA job. And do you know why I was fired? I was fired because I went to look for the TSA job. So some of you work in private schools, when you go look for TSA job, please don't tell the principals and teachers that they're going to fire you the way they fired me. And now when they fired me, as I was waiting for my appointment letter to come from TSC, I was lucky to be hired by Queen of Apostles Seminary, opposite Safari Park. And there they gave me a salary that was double the TSC salary. So I worked there. When my letter came, I went to the school where I was hired and negotiated with the principal that I had business to accomplish. And I need, please give me like 2 weeks to report. The principal was so desperate for a physics teacher, she decided to give me 1 month. So I was hired to start working in September, but I reported in October. To give me, I needed time to come and work and teach the students at Queen of Apostles Seminary for 1 more month so that I can develop the connection with the students and also get some money because TSC salary doesn't come immediately. And the Queen of Apostles Seminary, they treated me so well. Shout out to staff and students at Queen of Apostles Seminary in the year 2000 when I left. I worked there for 2 months. If you are listening here, you are a teacher and you need a job, you're a computer scientist, you need a job, please hit my inbox immediately. I'm going to hire you without interview. And now when I went to this school in Thika, we were the first teachers to be hired. We are working from the primary school. We share the staff room with the primary school teachers. And as all of you know, a big school with over 60 teachers, staff, and we are only around 6 secondary school teachers. So we are the minority. So we need to give them their way because that was their staff room. We need to take a low profile. And after working there for 1 year, now we went our own compound. No staff room, no chairs, no bathroom, no toilet. And we built this school from scratch until it was now a school that could be admired. So this brings you to the story of Simon Makonde and what Odilia is talking about. If you are that kind of person that want food that is ready on the table, this is not the place for you. This is not the place for you. Go to established schools like Brookhouse International School. Go to other schools that are well established and are all known. Us, we need the small schools. We need the small university so that we can work hard and make headlines in those small schools and have our work seen to the public. You know, when you go to a small university or a small school and you make it appear on the newspaper, you make it shine, your work will be seen. Because before you went there, nobody knew about that school. And after you have gone there and put in much work, now everybody knows the school. But when you go to a big school that has been appearing on the newspaper year in, year out, even during your year, if it appears in the newspaper, they cannot say that you are the one who made it appear. They will say, after all, even before you came here, we have been appearing in the newspaper. We are the giants. We are the Alliance National School. We are the Alliance Girls National School. We are the Moi Forces Academy. We are the Kenya High. We are the State House Girls. We are the Maseno National School. We are the Mangu High. And I made sure that during my teaching career, I went to very small schools to create an impact. The only big school I went to was Olkejuado High School. The others were just small school. And also the only school, when I talk about school here, it means from kindergarten to the universities. The only big school, university and college I went to in my life is Kenyatta University. The rest are very small schools. Some of them, when you enter the compound, you will wonder whether this is a small elementary and junior secondary school in Turkana East. And what is the advantage of associating yourself with small schools? Because your work will be seen if you are a hard worker. But if you are a Simon Makonde, go to the big schools, you will survive. I'm not saying everybody that is in the big school, that went to big schools, is not a worker or is not a performer. But it is very difficult. The competition there is so high and very extremely difficult for somebody from Oliko Secondary School to go there and shine. Somebody who cannot twang while speaking English. Odilia, you are lucky you are speaking very good English because you went to Loreto High School. Me, when I went to school, in my high school and in my primary school, some lessons used to be taught in mother tongue.
Wow.
So anyway, let me choose one more person
Mm-hmm.
before we hand over this meeting to somebody else to make a presentation. If you are here, please get ready. Now, this next person that I'm going to pick, I already picked a lady. I'm now going to pick a man. And the man of the day today is none other than Isaac Wambedha, the man who has already written a book and finished, when others are still about to start writing chapter 1. Yes, Isaac, what question do you have for Odilia? Please introduce yourself. Yeah, introduce yourself and let us see your photo. The need was, yes, there you go. That's the man that already written a book and completed. Isaac, do you know what? You are the first Kenyan teacher to write a book in the thematic area of Asiya Kiswahili grade 10.
I'm humble.
To a fish by now. So the only thing you know is I do work with Michelle, Dr. Michelle, and have you online on Bulldog.
Yes. We are very much interested. Hello?
Okay. 20,000 primary school, and because of your hard work and the speed at which you have written that, it doesn't matter whether it's in leadership or not, but the attitude that I can do it and the speed at which I'm going to buy another books worth 27,000 for you and junior citizen. So please, when you get time, deliver those books after you mark your national exams, and then look for my HR. Mr. Odalo, to give you 2 checks. One check worth 27,000 and another check worth 27,000. These checks are going to be from my company called Blue Dial Analytica. And then once you get those checks, you get in touch with me to give you further instructions on what to do with them. The check should be written either in your name or the name of your company. Are we together, sir?
I'm getting you.
Hello?
Yes.
Yes. The reason why I have to reward you. Rewarding you does not mean I have too much money. The reason why I have to reward you, we have to recognize and appreciate hard work. Even when you try and fail, the fact that you tried, that keeps me going because you have the attitude, I can do it. That is exactly what we did when we came to a foreign country. Remember, when you come to a foreign country, you don't know anything. You want to start from the scratch, from the position of a deputy principal of a very big high school in Kajiado to a dishwasher in the kitchen. That's how I started.
Yeah.
Then after some times, I was able to become a high school teacher in America with my accent, teaching them for 4 years. Then after some time, nikajipeleka shule, I became a data engineer. And now I'm coming out of my data engineering profession and going back to teaching. Why? Why? Because I want to make an impact. You know, as a data engineer or data scientist, there are some domains like in energy, like in nuclear science, like in health, where you make too much money when you work as a data scientist. But when you work in the education domain, just like teachers, you don't earn much. But imagine I'm turning down all those offers to come and work as a data scientist in the education sector for Kiswahili Digital Academy for almost free. Right now, nobody's paying me.
He's paying you, yeah.
What attitude we want? Because at the end of the day, when God decides to call you back home, what will you be remembered for? Will you be remembered for harassing students during lessons? Will you be remembered for dismissing weak students because they cannot score an A in your subject? Will you be remembered? Anyway, there are some examples I wanted to give, but for the respect for my teachers who are here, together with the students, let me not give them. So without much further ado, sir, please take it away. Introduce yourself properly, where you went to school, right from kindergarten to the university, and then where you were teaching, and in your teaching career, which one is the most memorable occasion that if you retire right now from teaching, if we decide to poach you right now and make you a full staff of Kiswahili Digital Academy and post you to South Africa, because we're going to have Kiswahili Digital Academy in South Africa, what will you do? And also give us a name of a student that you will remember throughout your life. You will smart student. And what do you remember him for? Then after doing that, sir, go ahead and ask Odilia any question you want. Please.
Okay. Thank you. I'm Isaac Wambedha. Currently teaching at St. Mary's Ukwala High School. A proud teacher of Kiswahili and history. My education history, I started from a small school, kindergarten. It was in a church, Ukwala, Uwai Center. Pius knows the church. It's a kindergarten that I would call Oliko, just like he had said. Then from kindergarten, I went to Ndenga Primary School, barefoot, for 8 years. Then from Ndenga Primary School, after my KCPE, I never performed well. I think I had 205 something there. I proceeded to Malira Secondary School in Game, where I was there for 4 years and managed a B plane. Then I was admitted to University of Nairobi for Bachelor of Education Arts, where I opted for Kiswahili as my major subject and history as my minor. For 4 years I was there, then graduated with a second class upper degree. Around 10 years later, I went back to Kenyatta University and I did my MBA, Masters in Business Administration. I'm here to Ukwala, St. Mary's Ukwala High School, where Pius was a student before I joined this school. And I am teaching Kiswahili and history. I'm the boarding master, senior master also. And memorable moments, I can only refer to my FB, where students keep on thanking. In fact, Mr. Pius Odiamba, I'll send you just a short a short screenshot of what one student is commenting about. They appreciate.
Please don't send it to me. Post it on the group chat so that we can all celebrate you.
Okay. It's by a former
Post
student.
It on the group, or the WhatsApp group, the big WhatsApp group.
Okay.
Yes.
It's from a former student who left here 10 years ago. I just picked one, but there are several. It's called Aldrin Oma. You will see it on the wall. So that makes me a very proud and happy teacher as I teach boys here. As for Kiswahili, as for the books I've published, I'm also an author. I've done a total of 13 books, 3 of them in English and the rest are in Kiswahili. And that is why you had our founder mentioning the books, and already he has managed to buy the books that he had mentioned. So to Madam Odilia, mwalimu nashukuru sana. Kuna wakati moja Bwana Pius alinielekeza kwako. Sijui labda umesahau, lakini ulinielekeza ukanishauri vile naweza shughulikia soko ili vitabu vyangu viweze kununuliwa hapa na pale. Lakini ulinishauri.
Nimesahau.
Sasa labda kile ambacho mimi nitaomba, kwa mfano sasa ndugu yetu Pius ananisaidia sana kupata soko. Mimi nitakuomba tu, mbali na mimi kujaribu kutafuta soko, hata wewe kama unaweza nipigia debe, ama anauliza kama una uwezo wa kunipigia debe huko ng'ambo ili nipate soko kama vika saa zile unauza vitabu vyako, nitashukuru sana. Kuna mmoja alinisaidia, mwanamuziki anaitwa huyu Prince Inda. Alipokuwa anaenda Ujerumani alibeba nakala fulani za kitabu changu cha Kiingereza kinaitwa The Dogs Must Be Crazy. Na wili watatu waliweza kanunua nakala. Naomba tu kama unaweza kunishauri ni kutumia nakala chache unitafute soko, nitashukuru. Inawezekana?
Inawezekana, lakini unajua kama mwaka kesho nitakuwa Nairobi kwa book fair.
Yeah, another thank you. You make sure you attend the book fair. Mr. Isaac and Madam Odilia give Mr. Isaac invitation. We are also here for networking. So, Mr. Isaac, hold on, Mr. Isaac. I want to make a point here. And when I'm making a point, I want to see your face. Let me look for you. Can you put back your face, please? Isaac?
Yeah.
Yes, I look at the facial expression when I'm talking to somebody. Now, with us, one thing we're going to help you with, you're going to introduce us to your digital textbooks, manuscripts, and we are going to host them on our app for free. And we are not going to deduct even a single cent from the sale. Everything will go to you for your contribution, because you are the first person to finish writing the textbook. You have also been very helpful to the boys. I talk to the boys at random, especially the students that are sponsored. They give me live report, feedback on how everybody is doing, and that is my capacity as a parent. Nobody can take away that from me, because as a parent, I need to know how my students are doing. Nobody can say that I'm spying on teachers and what. And the remarks are very wonderful. Please continue. In fact, I'm proud of you. Our school, our village school, is getting value with your presence there. So that is why we're going to host your books for free for life when the app gets ready, so that the money can go directly into your pocket, and we're not going to deduct even a single cent. So continue writing, and after you finish writing, mentor other writers to write like you, to help them come up with the first book in their life. That's what we are doing. Then about the books, you want to make sure you deliver them. And I want also to point out in your history, in your journey, that you scored around 200 marks, out of 700, around there. Those are very low marks. And you managed to turn around your low marks into a grade of B. Was it B plain or B plus at Malira?
B plain.
B plus. B plain?
B plain.
Yes, and at Malira, during those days when you were in school, was not such a great school. Now, from my analysis, what I see, what made you to score those low marks was just the condition and the situation at home. And the distance from your home school on barefooted and what other things like that is what made you to get those 200 marks. Not that you belong there. But now when you went to a boarding school and you are given the equal environment where you can eat the top layer, it could be the top layer for the week. If I'm given right now, I may not even be able to eat. You could eat a slice of bread. Right now, if you give me and buttered slice of bread, right now, if you give me a slice of bread dry, I may not even eat it. But those days when we were in school, those was a great deal. You were able to convert this E into B. The overlay. I was just crying Kiswahili only, but in the other side, I did wonderfully well. But here is a guy who failed all of them and made to turn them around. Now, my message to the young people who are here, who are listening, that there's no situation that is permanent. And let the past not define your future. You can still turn them around and turn on it. That thing that always gives, that scar in your life, that always gives you stress when you think about it. I'm told ladies even cry when they remember the scars they have in their life. Stop crying. Turn it into a lemonade and take an advantage of it. I wanted to give another example, but time is really going. I need to stop there. So, Mr. Isaac Wambedha.
Yes, sir.
You did tell us why you remember that student, and you also didn't tell us your memorable moment as in your teaching career that you will always remember, even up to that last time last time when you will be going to your grave. You miss those two. Reason why you remember that student you mentioned, and your memorable moment in your teaching career.
My memorable moment is the year 2022. I had a weak team here, and they approached me. They openly said, Mwalimu, we are weak, and we need your support. You're the only one person who can stand by us through this journey. That is students, the 2022 lot.
Yes.
And we would wake up as early as 1. You know, you only see me online as early that time. We chat with you at that odd. So
you always said to me morning greetings, and I was wondering, hey, this Mwalimu, people are asleep in Kenya, is already awake, and here, you know, it's daytime. I just enjoying bombarding with a lot of messages, and you respond. Yes. No, what I'm trying to say here is this is not only for Mr. Isaac Wambedha. Please, if you are hearing me and you are in this team and you have a question for me, or if there's something you would like to bring to my attention, please hit my inbox. Don't talk to me on the group. Hit my inbox. Because when you are asleep, the other side, me, I'm awake here. Okay,
so we managed to work with that team. Remember that year, Ukwala had a mean of 4.4. The year before that, 2021. But we were able to work with this team. That year, we only had 6 months at school. You remember the corona effects? And we pushed the mean from 4.4 to 5.6. A weak team working for only 6 months. It's a year I still refer to up to date.
Congratulations.
It's a memorable one, and I'll never forget about it. It was a weak team. Even the teachers here doubted their ability, but we were able to push it.
Congratulations. Now, what do you remember that student for, and what does he do for a living? Which university did he go?
Aldrin was at the Tech University. He was an average student, not very bright, not very weak. He was a member of my music team and was always with me. All the music items we performed were always with him. In fact, at one time, it was believed that he was not going to perform well because of co-curricular activities. Aldrin managed the C+ and proceeded to the Tech University. He's now...
Congratulations to Aldrin. And he graduated which year?
He left here 10 years ago, so that must have been 4 years after that. He graduated in 2014.
Okay, thank you so much. And thank you for your time. Now, please give me the permission to ask my staff here, my PDA staff, to cut your conversation with me and with Odilia, and share with your principals and all principal Kiswahili adopted schools. You are such an inspiration. Remember, I gave an offer of 52 teachers from the 9 Kiswahili pioneer adopted schools, and only 11 turned up. Out of those 11, I only have 3 attending my meetings. Out of those 3, you are one of them. Please clap for yourself.
Wow.
Thank you.
Okay. So do you give me the permission to cut this conversation and share with your principal?
Permitted, sir.
And we are also going to share it with our network in TSC. We are highly connected at the TSC. Oh, from the CEO downwards. Let me tell you a little story. Now, when I was interdicted in that school, my study leave was cancelled, and the TSC recalled me back from study leave to go back to class. And I was given an option. You continue with the study leave, and we are not going to reinstate your salary, or you get you posted as a physics teacher, and we give you a salary. Because I had a family, I had to go for the latter option of getting posted. Now, because there were very few physics teachers, so he said, we have a shortage of physics teachers. We don't need math teachers. You are just studying math and masters. How is it going to help TSC? So I ordered that. And now, Mr. Otich, who is the staffing officer for Rift Valley, processed my rent statement letter. And the day when I was supposed to go pick the letter, I found she had already left. for study leave, unplanned study leave. You know, our mothers. You know, our mothers, when the time comes, when the time is ripe, you might, the doctors might say that they're going to give us the new visitor next month. And then the new visitor comes 1 week before or 2 weeks before. That's what happened to Ms. Rotich. And then even in that pain, when she was being removed from the office to go for medical attention, she managed to hand over my letter to Nancy Macharia, who was now acting as the staffing officer for Rift Valley by then. And now when I went to pick my letter, Ms. Macharia pulled the drawer, got my letter, and gave it to me. And she told me that I was given firm instructions to give you this letter. And you need to confirm to Mrs. Rotich that I've given you the letter unconditionally. After the confirmation, I want to bless you so that when you go to the new station, the curse of interdiction should not follow you. Thrive, get the promotion, be a deputy principal, and be one of our principals. And if the time allows, come back to TSC and work with us as one of the staffing officers. Those who are words from Mrs. Nancy Macharia. And who is Nancy Macharia right now? The CEO Teacher Service Commission. And therefore, guys, this is why I'm telling you, it is important to do your work at school. Don't work for the principal. Don't be in the opposition. Collaborate with the principal. Because technically, according to the Education Act, as far as I'm concerned, the employer is the principal. I'm telling you, you can get an accident. You can get in the wrong bus with a student and you violate the law and the student reports to the principal. If you are in good terms with the principal will defend you, will protect you. But if you're in bad terms with the principal, they'll forward that case to the CC very quickly and you'll get your way out of the pay slip. So can you defend that pay slip you are having by first doing your work? By 2, recognize the student as the boss. By 3, respecting your principal as the boss. Because they are the people that have been posted there by TSC as our agents. Me, I've existed in 2 worlds. In one of my world, when I was a young man, very energetic with a thriving business in Nairobi, every holiday, 14 years ago, when I do my business in Nairobi all over, I used to generate as much as 1 million just in one holiday, in 1 month. And for a teacher, during those days, that will be a loan for 4 or 5 years. I don't know whether it's the case nowadays, or the salary has improved. But me, I will get it just in 1 month. So when I went to that school, very young, high tech, the only computer teacher in the classroom, the only teacher who owned the most expensive phone in the classroom. Nobody used to scare me. But what saved me was that I was doing my work. I was doing my work. So I was in the opposition. Whenever there's something in the staff room and people have to vote, I vote with the opposition. And remember, I was in a school right in the heart of Makongeni. And the predominant language there was the indigenous language Kikuyu. Even all the non-Kikuyus, we call them the Kambas around, the Merus around, they used to speak Kikuyu. I was the only non-Kikuyu speaker in the staff room, and we are 9. Sometimes when the staff meeting becomes hot, Mr. Wambedha, I hope you don't do this at St. Mary's or Kuala, they turn talking in Kikuyu. And at that time, I just laugh and congratulate them for speaking Lingala. And they know that I don't know, I don't understand the language. And that pushed me to know how to communicate in Kikuyu, to know how to trade in Kikuyu. So a time comes for voting, and me, I don't vote, and we are 9. So they'll vote and have a tie. 4 against 4. So the principal is very desperate. Wants somebody who breaks the tie. And then he turns around and says, Mr. Odhiambo, where is your vote? And I tell her, Madam, your guess is as good as mine. You always know where my vote is. That's why I don't usually vote. And then she will turn around in her executive chair and say, and so let the majority have it. So I used to save the situation. But as I'm a member of the opposition, I suffered a little bit. But now, when I went to a school whereby I protected the principal. I used to work 4 a.m. in class. I'm teaching. My class is the best. When exams are doing, boys are passing. Boys come to me. They want advice. I used to they want advice from me. I spend time with them. Stuff like that. Until that time, when it was end of the week, I'm going back to my family in Nairobi. I find them lining by the gate. Hey, Mr. Pass, Mr. They know that the food, the bread that I carried from Nairobi for the whole week, I usually don't consume everything. There's something left. Huh? And the first boy to come, yo, this is yours already for the day. And they were very happy. They remember me. Right now, I meet them in the streets of Washington, D.C. They treat me like a king, although I'm not one. Yeah. They treat me like a king. What am I talking about? I'm stressing on the importance of valuing your customer, or of looking at your student as your boss, as your employer. Now, the icing on the cake is when I went to that school, I found Mr. Yoya, who groomed me. Of course, Mashari has called the school before and talked to him that I'm posting a teacher here that I want you to groom to become a principal. Because we don't like how he was treated in that other informal video. And Yoya did exactly that. And I got all those key promotions and left when I was posted to a big school as a deputy principal, but I decided to come to the United States. Now, when I was looking for somebody to employ as the CEO of Kiswahili Tekelezi, then I decided to give Mr. Yoya the job. Right now, he's retired. That is the importance of having a good relationship with your teachers and with your students. Now, another thing on top of that, we are in that era where the customer calls the shots. We are not in that era where we used to meet teachers over the weekend. It's a weekend, you are not even at school, and the teacher is riding a bicycle. In my village, you are a teacher riding a bicycle. You're very rich during those days when I was in school. And you see a teacher coming, Mr. Wambedha coming from that direction. What will you do first? You run into the bush and hide. And now, once you are hiding there, you are squatting, you keep on checking. Has Mr. Wambedha gone or not? Has Mr. Wambedha gone or not? And when he has disappeared, you come out and continue with your journey. Right now, the students we are having, when they see Mr. Wambedha in a shopping center, they will come straight, look at Mr. Wambedha on the eye and say, hi, teacher. I just came to say hi to you. Look, totally different personalities, totally different generations. So the only way to take care of them is to be their friends, be their confidants, be those people that they can confide in when they are suffering. They are girls, they have been raped. They can confidently come to you if you are a lady that, you know what, I was raped. How do I go about this problem? If they are men, they are being harassed at school, at home, or even at school, they're being sodomized. They can come to you and say, hey, teacher, you know what? I'm being sodomized, and we can get help for them. But if you always scare them away, they will never tell you. The student performing poorly in your subject, and you don't care to find out why the student is performing poorly. What you are concerned about is your shopkeeping business in the shopping center. When you are too qualified to be a shopkeeper, when there are other better ways when you can make wealth, 10 times what the shopkeeping is giving you. So teachers, I didn't call you here to lecture you, but it is time to have a mental shift on how we look at our students. In America here, they're our bosses. And once you get that, we embrace technology in this training, you're going to thrive. And you're going to make more money. You're going to make more money more than those CEOs in the corporate world, because we are going to teach you on how to make wealth using your lessons, which have been going under waste for the 10 years, 20 years you have been teaching. We're going to record those lessons. You record those lessons, put them on your YouTube. We're going to help you share your YouTube around. If the student have 1 million subscribers, that is money that can go into your retirement benefit. And that is why we are teaching you all this. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Wambedha, at this particular point. So, Michelle Auma and Duncan Cheruyot, are you still in the meeting? Or James Sudur, or you are now on autopiloting? Please, if you are in the meeting and I've called your name, you're one of those 3 PDAs. Can you shout your name, please? Just shout that I'm Michelle Auma and I'm here. that I am James Oduor and I'm here. I am Duncan Cheruiyot and I'm here. All my PDAs are on autopilot. Michelle Ouma, are you there? James Oduor, are you there? They are not there. We're going to find a way on how to reach out to them. Oh, let me recognize the presence of Micah Hendera. Micah Hendera, are you there? Mike, are you there? Mike is not there.
I'm there. I'm there, Pew. I'm there.
Yeah, can you say something? Of course, you have listened to what we are saying. Our conversation with Odilia, with Mr. Isaac, and what have you. Can you say something, please?
I think I've listened to the discussions, and I think what you said is true. Even the experiences that you mentioned all the way in Olkejado and the rest, I find pride in listening to you because all that you're saying has gotten a lot of impact, and it has impacted on very many students that we left at Olkejado. And the ideas that we are trying to
We lost you, Mr. Mike. Can you check if your microphone is muted? And you can unmute. No, you are unmuted, but we can't hear you. Is somebody else hearing Mike? If you are hearing Mike, please can you shout yes? It looks like we have lost Mike. Okay, thank you, Mike, for those remarks. Now, ladies and gentlemen and members of the call, the reason why I have Sunday's meetings is this. This is what the Digital Academy is, a new concept. Even here in America, we don't have such concept. It is going to be new to them. The technology is going to drive it is also new. We are not automating the teaching process. We are not replacing teachers with robots. No, we are not doing that. We are not sending teachers out of job. No. In fact, we are creating more jobs for teachers. What we are automating is the textbooks. And my reasoning is, for all the years I've been in school in 3 continents, in Africa, in Europe, and also in America, there's no single teacher that I've come across that completes the chapters in the textbook in all the schools I've gone to. But I'm told at Alliance, they finished the syllabus in Form 3. Congratulations to them. But the majority of the schools, if the textbook is 20 chapters, you realize they've covered 12 chapters or 14 chapters. Now, what happened to the 6th chapter they have paid for? It goes at a waste. If the teacher covers 14 chapters, it means the student might only cover 10 chapters. So my reasoning is, why should I pay as a parent for the 20 chapters when I'm not going to use the 6 chapters? Or as a teacher, why should I pay, should I buy a book and pay for 20 chapters when I can only utilize 14 chapters? So in our digital textbooks, we are going to sell them chapter by chapter. We are not going to sell the whole book. And when we sell them, we're going to help the schools cover the chapters, simply because if you buy chapter 1 at 100 shillings, we give you 24 hours or whatever duration that the teacher shall have advised us. It could be 1 week, but the price is going to be 100 shillings. This chapter comes with 3 remote KDA teachers. This teacher can be in Central Kenya at Alliance Boys High School, another one in Kakamega, and another one in Coast High, because distance will no longer be a barrier to accessing teachers. They are teaching remotely. So in addition to the traditional teacher you have at school, you have 3 more teachers. Now, if an exam has been announced on a Friday and the teacher goes home, the real teacher goes home on a weekend and you want to prepare for these exams, you simply go to our digital lab and buy the chapters where the tests or the quizzes or the exam gonna come for at 100. And you have 24 hours to read that chapter. And then you also have 3 teachers which can teach you remotely. is in addition like, to the traditional teacher you have, because the traditional teacher is not accessible. So they will take you through that content when you have read it. Remember, the traditional teacher might have made you to score 60%. Now you read on your own using one material, this 6%, and the 620 don't understand. Now this 20, you have 3 hours to contact 3 teachers based on their rating, and they're gonna come up you. And maybe by that, when you go do the test, you will increase your grade from 80 to around 90 or 95. That's the whole essence of this thing. That's the whole essence of what we are doing. And what we are automating is the sale of textbooks, and the technology that's going to drive that is my innovation. It has never used anyone else. Last summer, I tested it in the labs, and it worked pretty well. So the main reason why I'm calling this meeting on Sundays, we're going to end it on 15th of November. I call it public participation, is to invite you teachers and ask me any question about this app, about this innovation. Have you understood the concept? Are you willing to start going and market us out there? I recognize the presence of Mr. George Ouda from South Africa. Mr. George Ouda was my head boy when I was at school, St. Mary's Ukwala High School. Mr. George Ouda, if you are listening to me, shout out to you, and please feel free to say 1 or 2 things. In honor of your leadership, when I was in high school, you know, prefects sacrifice a lot for us to be what we are today. And when we're in school, we don't even recognize that. So we have one of them here by the name George Ouda. George Ouda, can you hear me?
Yes, I can, Brother Pius, I can. Thank you.
Yes, please go ahead and introduce yourself properly. Where did you go to school in primary? What challenges did you face? Where did you go to high school? What challenges did you face? How did you maneuver those challenges to become what you are today? And what is your professional career? We'll use this video to mentor students around our doctorate school, one of which is St. Mary's Ukwala High School. In fact, what we are going to do, we are going to carry you digitally from your home in South Africa to Kenya in Ukwala at 0 cost to air ticket, so that you can. Please go ahead, please.
Thank you so much, Pius, and thank you for giving me this opportunity. And you must know that your work, what you've
can you
done,
put on your face? People, if circumstances allows, please can you put on your video so that we can see you? If it's not possible, it's fine. But if it's possible, there are people on the call who like to see you. Yes, I can see you. Yeah, it's actually the real George Ouda. It's not a fake one. It's not an AI generated George Ouda. Yes, confirmed. Sir, please go ahead.
Thank you, as I was saying. Thank you so much, Pius, and your efforts in whatever you are doing, Pius. It's really appreciated. Maybe for the few of us or many of us now who knows all around the world, who knows what you're doing, and really to connect with your roots is one of the most important things in life. And you've really done it in a way that I'm trying to think if I've seen anybody try to connect to their roots and do what you're doing. People try, but not to the magnitude that you've done it. Having said that, I just pray that God blesses you and God really carries you and carries the vision that you have to its fruition, and you leave it to the generation to come. My name is George Ouda, as Pius has said. When I left Ukwala High School in 1993, Pius was in Form 2. And having been a head boy, I knew a bit of Pius's issues, because as a head boy, you have sometimes close sessions with the principal, and by then it was Mr. Angaya. And I knew a bit of, though I was also in the same age, but I knew that Pius had got some, challenges. He was a day scholar, and it was not easy. But we also had, each and every one of us had challenges and still have challenges. But it's not what challenges we have that matters. It's how we maneuver them, how we believe in God, and how hard we work. You can't wish it away. You must stand up and do something about it. And that's what Pius did. I grew up, you know, I started Ukwala High School. First of all, I went to Kanga High School in Form 1 after scoring lots of marks. And I was the only, from Sia district by then, I was the only person who was admitted in Kanga High School. But because of challenges, as we are saying, there was no money. I was only able to be in Kanga for 1 year. And the following year, I had to come back to Kuala High School as a day scholar first, the first year. And then an opening came through and I joined now as a day scholar. And yeah, and I don't think I've ever looked back. And Pius is one of those people that he thinks he's younger than me. He thinks that he has been able to accomplish what he accomplished, but he must know that he's one of my mentors in a way, quote unquote, because what he's doing is extremely out of this world. I don't want to take much time. After Kuala High School, I joined the military a bit and did a bit of training with Israeli Mossads and Sandhurst in the UK, but I didn't, it wasn't my calling. I felt it was not what I wanted to do. And so I went back and did psychology. And currently I'm practicing as a psychologist in South Africa, but I'm about to graduate with a master's in social work. And yeah, it has been a journey, but let me tell you guys, with hard work and with determination and with a few people holding your hands here and there, and most of the times they are not your relatives. Most of the times they are strangers, quote unquote. And they always push and pull us towards things that we never imagined would never happen. So I would leave it at that, and I follow each and everything that Pius is doing. And Ukwala High School is at my heart. We have another big group of former Ukwala boys. We are actually taking one of the boys to school, and that only came after we saw what Pius was doing. And then the group also decided, let's do 1 or 2. And yeah, we have a Form 2 now, Form 3, going Form 3.
No, it's Form 4. It's Form 4.
Yeah,
he's
going
Form 4 right now.
Yes. And that was born out of what Pius was doing, because Pius was sponsoring, I think, 4 kids. And as a group, we're only doing 1 as at now. So it's a major, major, major achievement that Pius has done, guys. And he's always a brother. We always talk on site, but I'm really, really, really rooting for what Pius is doing. And when he was talking about developing this kind of a forum and this digital curriculum, I wanted to tell him. I hadn't told him because I was a bit that I'm not a trained teacher. He knows, like him. He's one of the most successful teachers. But I will chip in my own way as a mentor, to mentor the boys and the girls who need mentorship. And I will do it at no cost at all, because it's part of giving back to our roots. Thank you.